Good afternoon, Wildcats. This is your school counseling intern, Miss Ruth, here to talk to you about your classes for next semester. I know last week we came into your classes and we talked about the IGPs, your course selection sheet, but I just kind of want to reiterate different ideas that we talked about because I know it can be a little scary, a little overwhelming to talk about next semester. So today what you're going to need with you is your green course selection book, and it should be the 2015-2016 year 9th grade because there is one for 10th and 11th, 12th graders as well. So make sure you have the 9th grade one. You're also going to need your blue course selection sheet with your course selection assignments from your teachers. So make sure you have that and make sure it has your name on there with South Point High School because all of y'all will be attending South Point High School. So make sure you have that. And then we're going to go off of this right here, which is an example on your course selection sheet under course number, course ID, and alternative electives. But we'll get to that in a second. First, I want to talk to you a little bit about some of the issues or ideas in your course selection book. So first, on the inside cover, right here, there's your district information, different information about the high schools, a lot of good contact information that you and your parents can use. Also, the table of contents. So if you have any questions about anything or anything that you want to look up, you can go here and you can find it. But the first thing I want to show you is on page 1, under schedule changes. It's really important that you listen to this fact. Okay, so once the master schedule is defined, your classes are set in stone unless your parent comes in and signs for you to change your classes. But that is not a guarantee they're going to be changed. And then no preferences will be changed after the school schedule change deadline has occurred, which is in June. So make sure that you take note of those. Also, on your blue course selection sheet, your teachers have signed which classes you should take for your grades or your math scores. And if you want to change this, you have to get your parents to sign that as well, which you'll talk about at your IGP meeting, which is February 18th, 2015. And you've been given an assigned time, so make sure your parents are there. So be there, be square. We'll talk about that again in a minute. So the next thing I think I want to point out to you is promotion and retention. So we all like to go on to the next grade, right? So to get promoted to the grade 10, a student must pass a minimum of 4 units of credit to include 1 English credit, 1 math credit, a science or social studies, and no alternative credit. So you have to pass 4 classes to get promoted to the 10th grade. That's really important to remember as well. And then on page 3, I want to show you graduation requirements. You and your parents should look over this just to see all the classes you have to have to graduate. And this is for your high school diploma. It's not to get into college. There's some different things you have to have as well to get into college. And then all students in Rock Hill schools must take a HELP for high school graduation. Lucky for you, South Point 101 is the HELP class that you're required to take. So you will definitely take that next semester. And then you also must take a computer literacy requirement. On page 4, you'll find all the different classes you have to take. So make sure you look at that. The next thing I want to point out to you is on page 5, you'll see a grade point conversion chart. I just want you to take note of that because there's a difference between college prep, honors, dual, and AP. Up to now, you're not really getting a GPA, so that's going to be different in high school. So make sure you look at that as well. And then I want you to look at page 7 and 8. So you know how earlier I was talking about how a high school diploma, the things that you need for that is going to be a little bit different than what you need to get into college. For example, to get your high school diploma, you only need 1 foreign language, but for colleges, you need at least 2 units of foreign language. Some schools require 3, for example, Clemson is one that requires 3. Then you also need 1 unit of fine arts, which could be an art class, a theater class with your band and chorus, those count as well. And then also the computer science course is required, but you have to have that for your diploma as well. And again, those are on page 7 and 8 for you to look at. And then I would like you to look at page 19. You don't have to do anything with this now, but I just want you to have an idea about it. On page 19, there's your IGP plan, which is also your individual graduation plan. You're going to be going over this on February 18th with your school counselor. So just have an idea. Make sure you look over it before then so you can have an idea what you're going to have to fill out. And then we are going to go to page 29 and 30. On all these pages, you'll see different courses descriptions about them. For example, you might not know what some classes are on your sheet, so you can go to these pages and look at the different classes and what they're about. For example, South Point 101, it gives you a description of what the class entails, and that's really helpful when you're trying to make your class selections. The next thing that I want you to look at is on page 38. We have this thing called the Applied Technology Center, or the HEC. It's separate from South Point High School. It's where you can go off campus to take different courses. The HEC courses provide students the opportunity to use academic skills in a project-based, hands-on learning environment. So these classes are really important if you want to go into healthcare, the transportation industry, engineering, because they're going to offer different classes in South Point. But it's really important if you want to take these classes that you start taking them early on during your freshman year, because they give preferences to students who've already taken classes there. Because a lot of them have prereqs. For example, Health Science 1 is offered there. So if you want to take Health Science 2, you already have to take Health Science 1. So it's really important that you take those classes. Now we're going to go back to your blue sheet right here. And as I talked about earlier, this right here, your course number, course title, and alternative electives are on here. So I just want to show you how you fill these out real quick, because I know it can be a little bit confusing, and we want it to be squared away for when you come to your IGP conference on February 18th. So what we're going to do first, I have John Smith's course selection sheet. He's not a real student here, obviously, someone made up. So what we're going to do is look at our English. His teacher, based on his grade and math scores, said that he needs to take English 1 CP. So what you would do is, under the course title, you would write English 1 CP. And then right beside it has the course number. So what you would write is that course number right there. Which is 301100 CW. Next, you're going to see it says Social Studies. And the teacher's also going to have assigned you what class you should take based on your grades. So he has said that John Smith should take World Geography. So we're going to come down to the Social Studies section and write World Geography. And the course number is 33100CW. Under mathematics, it said he needs to take Algebra 2 honors, so we're going to write Algebra 2 honors, and the course number for that as well. And then for science, he signed up for Biology 1 honors. We're going to write the course number there as well. When you're writing these on your course selection sheet, make sure you write them in pen, so this school counselor can see it properly. Okay, now for the fun part, electives. I know you've all really enjoyed picking your electives like you did when you were in middle school. So during the school year, you're going to have 4 electives. So, starting off, one of your electives has to be South Point 101. No ifs, ands, or buts. So that's what we're going to put there first, or already filled out on there for you, actually. So John Smith is going to be a football player, so he really needs to go ahead and take physical education, which is a requirement to graduate anyway. But later on, he's going to be taking weightlifting classes, and a prereq for that is PE. So if you want to play any kind of sports, it's really recommended to go ahead and take physical education during your first year. So his first elective is going to be PE 1, and the course number is right there, so you're just going to write that down. And then another thing he wants to take is he wants to go on to a 4-year college, so he wants to go ahead and start getting his Spanishes or his foreign languages out of the way. So he's going to take Spanish 1. So for his final elective, he's decided he wants to go ahead and get another requirement out of the way for college, so he's going to go ahead and take Art 1. So the next thing you have to do is you need to pick 3 different electives that you want in case alternate electives, in case your first 4 electives don't work out. So he's going to go around and think, maybe I'll go ahead and take the computer literacy class just because I know I have to take that to graduate and for college, so he's going to make that one of his alternates. And he's going to take digital media. Okay, and the difference about these two is there's a spot for course number and a spot for course title, but in the alternate electives, you're usually put it all together. So that's a little bit different than the first one. So he doesn't really care if he's going to take art or theater for his finance course, so he's just going to go ahead and put theater down for his next one, just so he can get it out of the way. And then he thinks that drafting at the ATC looks interesting, not actually for his first elective, so he's going to put down for an alternate in case he can't get into PE, Spanish, or art. So right here, this is how you should properly fill out your course number and course title. And this is what is expected of you when you and your parents come to your IGP conference on February 18th, 2015, sorry. So make sure that you fill this out properly, and if you have any questions, you can always contact me at rutha5@winthrop.edu, or you can come by my office, which is number G101, from Wednesday 9 to 2. So I hope this has been very educational for you, and if you have any questions, again, just email me. And if not, I will see you on February 18th, 2015. Be there, be square. Thank you again for listening. Freshman 101 Classes with Miss Ruth.